Imagine walking into a gallery, the walls bathed in soft light, and suddenly your eyes fall upon a canvas that shimmers with colors that almost seem alive. At first glance, Impressionist paintings appear loose, spontaneous, even fleeting, like capturing a dream before it fades. But here's the secret most visitors miss. These works are not just about pretty colors and brushstrokes. They are filled with hidden narratives, layers of visual storytelling, and subtle mysteries waiting to be uncovered. Today, we're diving into the secrets that lie beneath the surface of Impressionism, exploring how artists like Monet, Renoir, Degas, and others hid more than just light and movement. They hid stories. Take Claude Monet's famous series of water lilies. People often think of them as purely decorative, peaceful, a reflection of nature's calm. But look closer. Monet painted them during a period of personal turmoil. His eyesight was deteriorating due to cataracts. The blurred outlines and unusual color choices are not just an artistic choice, but a direct result of his physical struggle. In many ways, those shimmering ponds represent his attempt to see the world before his vision left him entirely. What seems like tranquility hides a desperate race against time. And then there's Edgar Degas, often associated with his elegant ballerinas. But hidden within those graceful scenes is a subtle tension. Look at The Rehearsal, painted in 1873. Notice how the dancers in the background are obscured, almost ghostly, while the floorboards stretch at odd angles. Degas wasn't just showing dance, he was revealing the pressure and strain behind the beauty. Some critics even suggest he was critiquing the exploitation of young dancers in Paris, many of whom were forced into grueling rehearsals under the watchful eyes of wealthy patrons. Suddenly, what seemed charming becomes unsettling. Pierre-Auguste Renoir, on the other hand, often painted scenes of joy and sociability, cafes, boating parties, bustling Parisian life. Yet even in his works there are mysteries. Look at Luncheon of the Boating Party. At first it's a cheerful gathering, sunlight sparkling on wine glasses, laughter frozen in paint. But study the faces. Some look distracted, distant, almost detached from the merriment. Was Renoir showing us the surface of bourgeois leisure while hinting at the alienation beneath? Art historians debate whether this painting is less about joy and more about the fragile mask of society. Camille Pissarro, sometimes called the father of Impressionism, also hid subtle political messages in his work. While others painted leisure, Pissarro often focused on workers, peasants, and everyday labor. The harvest is not simply a celebration of rural life. It's a reminder of the backbone of society, the people who toiled while the city's elite enjoyed their parties. Hidden within the brushstrokes is a quiet resistance, a narrative about class and labor often overlooked when people reduce Impressionism to pretty pictures of landscapes. And then there's Berthe Morisot, one of the few women in the movement. She often painted domestic scenes, women reading, caring for children, gazing through windows. Critics at the time dismissed them as feminine subjects, but today we recognize something deeper. Look at The Cradle. The mother gazes at her child with tenderness. But the shadows in the room, the stillness of the moment, speak of isolation as much as love. Morisot was hinting at the limitations imposed on women of her time, trapped within domestic expectations even as they longed for a wider world. Now, let's not forget that Impressionism itself was born as a rebellion. In 1874, when Monet, Renoir, Degas, Pissarro, Morisot, and others exhibited outside the official salon, critics mocked them. One sneered at Monet's painting of Impression's Sunrise, saying it looked like nothing more than a sketch, an impression rather than a finished work. That insult gave the entire movement its name. But behind the insult was something crucial. These artists were hiding revolution in plain sight. By refusing to follow rigid academic rules, they created a new way of seeing. Their brushstrokes were not careless, they were deliberate acts of defiance. The mysteries extend to the very techniques they used. When you stand close to an Impressionist canvas, you see only dabs and strokes of color. But step back, and suddenly a scene emerges. Boats on the Seine, dancers in rehearsal, a party in full swing. This play between chaos and clarity mirrors life itself. Up close, fragmented, from afar, meaningful. Could it be that the artists were telling us something about perspective, not just in painting, but in how we see the world? Consider the colors. Monet often used unexpected hues, shadows painted with blues and purples instead of gray. Renoir would use patches of bright orange and skin tones. These choices weren't random. They were secrets coated in pigment, tricks that made the painting shimmer. But they also whispered a deeper truth. Reality is never just one shade. Shadows are not simply dark. They are filled with color, life, and complexity. The Impressionists were teaching us to look closer, to question what we think we know. Another hidden layer lies in their obsession with modernity. Paris in the late 19th century was changing fast. New boulevards, gas lamps, trains, cafes, crowds. Impressionists documented this transformation, but not always literally. Look at Gustave Caillebot's Paris Street, rainy day. The cobblestones gleam with rain. The figures stride with umbrellas. The buildings loom above. It feels almost photographic, but there's something unsettling in its emptiness. The distance between people, the isolation in a crowd, it's a quiet commentary on modern alienation. Even more mysterious are the paintings that hint at fleeting stories we'll never fully know. Renoir's Dance at Le Moulin de la Galette is filled with movement and laughter. But who are those people? Lovers, friends, strangers? Their identities are lost, yet frozen forever in a sunlit afternoon. It's like a snapshot of life where the story is incomplete, leaving us to wonder. That's the power of Impressionism. It doesn't hand us the full narrative. It invites us to participate, to fill in the gaps with our own imagination. And let's not forget how light itself becomes a hidden character. Monet painted the facade of Rouen Cathedral over 30 times at different hours of the day. At dawn, it glows in pale blues. At noon, it blazes with gold. At sunset, it's drenched in shadow and fire. The mystery here is not just the cathedral, it's time itself. Monet was painting the passing of moments, the way light transforms reality. What we see is not just stone and glass, but the ephemeral, the ungraspable. The hidden message, nothing stays the same. Everything is in motion. Perhaps the greatest hidden mystery, though, is how these paintings continue to speak across centuries. They were once mocked, rejected, laughed at. Today, they are celebrated as masterpieces. But their magic lies not just in beauty, it lies in their ambiguity. Impressionism is not about giving answers. It's about asking questions. What do you see in that blur of color? What story does that figure in the background tell you? What emotion rises when you look at a shadow painted in violet instead of gray? The canvas becomes a mirror, reflecting not just the artist's vision but our own. So next time you stand before an Impressionist painting, don't just admire it from a distance. Step closer. Look for the odd brushstroke, the hidden detail, the story beneath the surface. Remember that these artists were rebels, storytellers, visionaries who painted not just what they saw but what they felt. Their works are full of secrets waiting for you to uncover. And maybe, just maybe, you'll find that the greatest hidden mystery of all is not in the painting, but in how it changes you.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. Feel free to share it with a friend who loves a good mystery. And if you haven't already, please subscribe so you won't miss the next story. There's a lot more to uncover, and I'd love to have you along for the journey.